So now that you know a little bit, I know it's just a little bit, how to make an video extraction, and Felipe will tell us about the template magic. As he said, template is something that requires time to learn how to do it, requires like a lot of expertise. So nowadays in Plazi, we have Felipe working with templates, because anyone else takes a long time, and time is money. Yeah, time is something that's precious. So he is the person in charge. So it's not something that we will like be teaching here you to do. And as we look here and here, it's a lot of details. So today we don't expect you to, oh, don't feel like, yeah, I cannot do it, I can't. Yeah, it's just for you to understand what requires. But one thing that's very important, and I really want you to go home and leave the symposium, the event, understanding, is the necessity of quality control. So now that we've seen 2 times quality control in the paper, you understand a little bit more of the mistakes, the errors that can be there. And these errors prevent the treatments, the information to go to the repository. So all the beautiful things are not not uh, not happening if you have these errors. For one side, is very nice, very good to know that we have the gatekeeper that prevent this data with problems to go to the repositories. We prevent a lot of confusion. But on the other hand, we prevent a lot of information to go there. So we have much much more treatments in treatment bank than we have in any other repository. So quality control is completely necessary, but it's also something that's not so easy to deal with, going on. So we have the two ways, template and individual extraction. In both, we need quality control. But we don't have hands enough to make quality control in all the things that we template. So some goes to repositories with these mistakes that you know, that can be paragraphs, can be higher taxonomy, it can be lack of authority, it can be one author with the name of 3 authors, all that. Yeah. And individual extraction usually doesn't have, because we've done we pass through the entire process, so they are not there. Yeah. So we have talked about that, the boundaries, the paper structure. This is very important, and it's very important to know also that the gatekeeper, that mechanism to prevent the mistakes to go to the repositories, it's kind of new. So some of the very important mistakes, the very long reports we received from the community are from the beginning of Plazi, because then we didn't have this mechanism to prevent the blockers, the mistakes that can block your treatment to go further. So we've seen we have minor, major, criticals, and blockers in our quality control on GGI. But how it's happening in Plazi? How do you do? So we have, for our workflow, we have this granularity, and this is very important because we want to have new partners here. So it's important for you to know that we have these 3 levels of granularity of our quality control process. We have the high, the low, and the ultimate. Yeah. So we now it's not ultimate anymore. Felipe, I think this is an old. Yeah, basic, advanced, and premium. It's the new. Yeah, it was one uh, slide that's not supposed to be there. Now the names are basic, advanced with a, and premium. We have these three levels of quality control. So if we want to have a project together, and or if you want to establish a project in your lab, you have to think what level of quality control you want. And what do you need to be extracted is the very important thing to define this granularity. So in the basic, what we take care of when we are doing basic quality control, we just take care of metadata, if it's all the data there, but we don't take care of affiliation and emails because it can take a lot of time. If all the tables and the images with their own captions are there, if all the bibliographic references are annotated and just automatically parsed, we don't go there and fix, and if the information is going to Zenodo and Cibils and biodiversity PMC. So this is the basic. What we do with the basic is we let the template run, and then we just open the paper, the document, and we check all these things. Of course, when we are saying if it's going to Zenodo, a lot of other things will be fixed in the middle, because to go to Zenodo, we have to fix many things. But we don't open the document if it's just going to Zenodo and has all these things, has the images, captions. Okay, it's done. So if you have a lot of things, if you want to have it fastly done, and you don't need to construct a dashboard, for example, as we will show you, okay, let's do the basic. Then I have a lot of information going out from my project. And this is important also for us from Plazi, because it's the way we charge also collaborators in projects. Then we have we know the time we spend in all the quality control from different granularity. So the advanced is the most commonly used by us. Include all that we had in the basic, but we also check all the treatments, if all the subsections are marked, the boundaries and the attributes of the treatment, and the holotypes. We check if the holotype, the material citation of the holotype are perfect. We open the holotype and then parse it perfectly in the attributes. The other material citations, no, we just leave it. And we check the types and parse the types, not just the holotype, but the types when there are not too many. When there are too many, we just check them. And then plus Zenodo, we check if it's going to GBIF. If it's not going to GBIF, we fix everything that needs to be going to GBIF. Should, but it's not you, it's the gatekeeper again. We have a mechanism, automatic mechanism, to prevent the data to go to Zenodo and GBIF with any of the mistakes that you've seen in quality control. It's very difficult to explain for somebody that never used DGI, but now you have. When you go to check and show document errors, then you have the errors. The critical and the blockers, if you have them in bold, they prevent going to GBIF. So you go there, you go in treatment bank to make the query that you saw yesterday and you will do in the afternoon, and then you can see the errors. And you see the transit, the information is not going to, preventing to go to GBIF. Why? Because treatment boundaries are incorrect. Then doesn't go to GBIF. Because it's not when the treatment boundaries are incorrect, what do you think is happening? It can be like if the boundaries are incorrect. What should I have? Yes. What's the problem? What's the problem, Julia? I'm doing the treatment boundaries. Leave it. Let it be. The treatment, the entire treatment. Yeah, it could be incomplete. You can have two treatments in one. Yeah, so And why GTI, gatekeeper, thinks the boundaries are wrong. Sometimes it's like this. Oh, there is the end of a paragraph, but there is no point at the end. Then GTI say, maybe this is not the end of the sentence. You have to check the boundaries. Or if GGI think that sometimes you have inside of the treatment, you have the name of the species, and then you have description, etymology, all this in capital letters, just as headings. Then sometimes GGI asks, oh, maybe this is the beginning of another treatment. And you must say, no, it is correct. But it thinks that the boundaries must be checked and then prevented to go to GB. Then you have a lot of things that are not there. You have to check. So this is the most commonly used granularity level on our quality control, the advanced, because then we can be kind of fast, but we can have all the information going to GB, biodiversity, PMC, and Zenodo, all the three of them. And we prevent the errors, higher taxonomy errors and all that, at least in holotypes and paratypes. Because that higher taxonomy, for example, is really, really common, or wrong authority, really, really common. And the best is premium. So premiums include all the basics, all the advanced, plus complete metadata for affiliation. So we include the archives, the emails, all the information that is provided in the paper. We take care that they are there. All the material citations, we go there. It doesn't matter if are 3 pages in one little treatment with material citation. We go and we parse and we take care of the annotations of all the material citations. As well as the treatment citation. We go there and we fix and we take care of all the treatment citations. So it's properly gone to all the repositories. And the same with the bibliographic references. At this moment, we do this very careful QC quality control with all the things. For the European Journal of Taxonomy, is part of our deal with them. They pay us for this. And in our projects, like I have a side project for extraction of the information from the description of species, endangered species of the Pampa, we do that. For 2 guys that have projects with us, they do that. The project that I said to you that has extracted data from the insect Pentapomoidea, he adapted a little bit. He had a premium quality control concerning to the material citation, but the affiliation is not taking care. So he's creating his own granularity. Is it possible? Yeah, it is. When you have your own project, you can agree something like with us. Oh, I don't have time and I don't need to be fixing ARC IDs, but I need everything to be perfect in the material citation. Okay. So, but when we are talking about projects and big projects and deals with Quasi, this is the way we are doing right now. Yeah, so you've done that. You know how to do it. Yeah. And just one more thing before showing you the templates is this. So we had 2 ways to work as curator of data, and we want you to be one of them. We have now a mostly, and I hope, growing Indian community. So we need you to work in curation of data from your country, from the region you know. You can stay with us after the course and then increase your knowledge and then receive the certifications to be a data extractor. Yeah. Or you can go there and in your search you are searching on treatment bank. Then you see that something is wrong, like here. You see, we have the name of the species is all together. What's this? Doesn't, this is wrong. Shouldn't be here. So we have a report a problem. We have this button in treatment bank. Today, when you try to use treatment bank and make some queries, remember me and take a careful look on that. There is a button there, report a problem. Then you click in report a problem and you go strictly to Classy Community on GitHub. We are there in Classy Community, and then you create an issue, you write something on. This is not subspecies, just suspicious. The thing is, we fixed, and when I was using this example, we had to add again the hairy here. Then now it moved, and it's like, but it was just like that. It was Valeriana officialis hairy. So a GBIF collaborator reported for us. And then Juliana, one of our Plazi Porto Alegre team colleagues, just entered GGI, fix it. And how did she fix that? Do you have a clue how to fix that? I guess. Go to metadata of the document. Open the document in GGI. Okay, you have the UUID there. You see, here you have the persistent identifier. Then you have the UUID. You use this in GGI, load the document, then you open the document, and then how to fix it. You find the treatment in the document. Okay, this is the treatment, and then the wrong thing is on the name, on the nomenclature. So how to fix nomenclature? No? Yeah, perfect. You've done that. You did it wrong in the attribute, word attribute. Yeah, you click, you just have the taxonomic name on, and then you have the annotation for taxonomic name. You click, and then edit taxonomic name attribute. Then you have all the information there. You remove this from the name of the species, and then save just like that. Then you go save to the server. You save the document to the server. In 5 minutes, it will change on treatment bank, on GBIF, on Zenodo, on biodiversity. It will be fast like that. So we have two ways again. You can go there and fix yourself, or you can be a watcher. You can be somebody in your place, in your region, that make a lot of queries and then make a data set what is wrong and then report one by one, or you can enter the GitHub community, Quasi GitHub community. We will give you all the links since the Quasi homepage is not opening here on India. I don't know. Yeah, but we will give you all the links. I will organize it in an email. And then you enter the community and can create an issue and then report data sets of problems. This is really, really important. This is a collaboration that we expect to build here. Really expect to build here. Felipe, we want to or yeah, because if not, I can go to. Uh-huh. They are.
Hold on.
They are there.
Sorry, I was not talking in the mic. Yeah. No. So Ocelos is one of the outlets that we have. So
You showed it yesterday.
yeah. So this is just for figures only. Okay. Yeah, exactly. They're all fetched from. Yeah, no, we are. Tables, same thing, but tables, it's a bit trickier. They don't have an. No. It's just to get them, but we have them. They will be shown in an HTML file. I'll just fetch some of them quickly. Hold on.
They are there. They are associated to the treatment. You enter the treatment, then you have the figure with their ID, and you have the table with their ID. And if you enter Zenodo, you have in Zenodo the treatment with the DOI, the figure with the DOI, the table with the DOI. So you can enter there and you have just the figure and also the DOI and as well as the table. Yeah. And this is very good because then to have a DOI just for a table, yeah, just for a table or for a figure is very nice. You can use it in a presentation and there is the DOI. People can click on it and then go to the paper, go to the author and everything. This is very fair.
This is a matrix. Yeah, so this is a character matrix for this particular group of shoot bugs, for instance. That's one that I picked came out of my mind. So another matrix. Some of these tables you see they're messed up because sometimes they need to be edited, but that's how they would look like if they were fully fixed. But then you can download them as plain XML, JSON, CSV. Yes, exactly. So
Yesterday I have presented the repositories, but nobody had touched them. So this afternoon, we will have like the same we had with DGI. Felipe will be making here and I can go and everybody can use. So it's very nice that you do the queries and then enter treatment bank, click on the figures and tables and see how it appears and go the link to Zenodo and see the same there and GB can see the same there. So you can see that the link between the three repositories and this, and especially tables, figures, and what you are interested in.
so this is species abundance table. So this is properly uh, fixed. This one looks nice. So this is from one of those reports that we talked about a few minutes ago from one of those, what's the word for?
Assessment, environmental assessment.
Yeah, it's an environmental assessment, but that's not the word I'm looking for, but that works as well. I was looking for, but I forgot the word in English right now that I'm looking for. But anyway, this is for environmental assessment, and this one as well. So it has a full list of all the taxa that the bird species from a specific region that was used for this construction that they are going to make, like this power plant, with all the common names. For instance, you can grab this and explore. This has a DOI of its own. You can see here its own Zenodo, and then this can be exported to XML, JSON, CSV, TSV can be used. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Because So we will go with you guys through in more detail how to get this information. Okay. So don't, but I'll quickly show you now that. So this is the table statistics. So if you go to that link, so tb.plazi.org/ggserver/tps stats. That means table statistics.
Again, all this, yeah, it's not opening. Again, all this is in the homepage. You go there and treatment bank page. Remember, we have one page just to query the entire articles, another way to query um, our treatments, and another to query just tables. So tables are very special and very specific. So we have, and why to have three different pages? Because then we can have all this information to query. Which is very good because we can make very particular, very individual questions and queries, but it can be a little bit overwhelming. So just like breathe and don't feel fear about the query page, and then read all the options and choose the options that fit the question you have in your project, in your query, then you can have it. And I would recommend you if you have like I'm in doubt. I don't know if it's just I will find this in a table or in the Twitter. Then go to the article statistics. In the article, we will have everything, so you can go there. But if you have a very specific question, query about the table or the treatment, you can go in this different steps all there. You don't have to copy to paste and to copy the address there. It's just a link that it's in Plazi page as soon as we open it.
Okay, now just to quickly show what I did is that, so we have several statistic stats pages that we call them statistics. That's all from our data, that it's pulled from our data. It's separate, so you have one for tables, one for articles, one for treatments, and even one for data linking, which is to link your the author's own data to see their ORC IDs where they are linked to. But we'll not get into detail right now. I'll just show what I did for this one. So what I wanted right now was a UUID for a table. I wanted to find any table just to showcase to you what they look like. So I turned on, you turn on the fields by clicking on them. You see, just left click, that works normally. And I turned on a few of them. In this very particular case, I turned on the journal and the publisher field because I knew exactly what I was looking for. EBRD is the European Bank for Redevelopment, for Reconstruction and Development. That's one work I mentioned earlier this week. So I knew that they had good tables. So I looked for them and I filled in the text here with this search. We'll get into more detail of what each character means, but basically it's like searches in other programs. In this case, the percentage means, yeah, so any other character before the E is accepted, all within quotes because it's a string. Okay. Yep. Yes. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, we had one time a pilot to extract data just for phytochemistry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like then we are not looking, the treatments are not concerning on the species, the taxon, but the phytochemistry, the element. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is just to show that we have this many articles, 1,700 from the journal Phytochemistry alone. Because yeah, we
Yeah.
made one because we had this pilot project through Bicycle with a researcher from Europe. Not sure where that ended up leading to because we don't have the contact anymore. But yeah, we even though there's not pretty much no treatments whatsoever within that, we did process that, and that data can eventually be used.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, showed you. Yes, you are not here, but I showed a brief on repositories, the amount of repositories we have, and we discuss repositories that goes. We process papers without treatments. They go to treatment bank and Zenodo, but not to GB. But they are there open. In this pilot, we try to make like the chemical was like the taxonomic name. And then when we have the chemical, we have a treatment. This was the pilot, and this was stopped after a while, but we have the extraction for all the phytochemistry, the article.
This is from, of course, this one has errors because we haven't looked at it. Like you can see, this row is a bit weird. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can fix.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the way it was in the paper.
So yeah, you can do that with phytochemistry. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there was some debate at that time what that we could make some small treatments out of phytochemical descriptions because the description of the chemical in itself was relevant information and could be defined as a taxonomically relevant information as it's part of the animal or the plant in this case. You could make a table treatment, which is a record treatment that it's
Now it's
so
a new
not,
tool.
it's something recent that we've been able to. That's like last 8 months. Yeah. So
Wow. Yeah,
no.
now we can have, it's like Felipe said, something that came from that project with the EBRD, the European Bank. And then we are extracting data from the reports. In the reports, we have mainly treatments in the tables. So now we have on GGI, we have a tool to extract data from create treatments in the tables.
Yeah.
We call record treatments because they are smaller.
Yeah, and what usually happens is that they are spread out through different tables. The mechanism we have in place right now, it can connect all the tables to form one treatment. So you pick one row from this table, you pick another row from another table, and another row from a third table, and you make them into one treatment. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's available already. Yeah, we can do it. Yeah,
So,
because
like
it was
for instance,
just like that. It's split it like, oh, in this place I had the species, and then now we can put all together in one.
so I'm not familiar with this field, but as I understand, like molecular formulas are like pretty much a description of. So yeah, that is, in essence, it is a taxonomic treatment. You are describing parts of their organism, whatever they are, how minute they are. It's part of their description, so that can be a treatment. Yeah. know. The question for those who are not here is whether the yes. Yeah.
Again, you have to respect the license. So you have to search and have to research to see.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't, but you can.
In Brazil, some have license, like, oh, you have to keep it like confidential for 5 years. So you treat this as closed access. The treatment should be open because of the Swiss law, the public domain, but the document will be closed. But if yeah, so it's an open.
So yeah, just to clarify, and again to people that are well, we have data from India, but not that from research papers. Yeah, we've not done a. So again, for people at home, there are a few questions here. Like first, whether we can process and extract data from publicly available documents from the Indian government and so on. That can be done. What are the licenses? If there are no licenses, but they are clearly open, you just add a generic license, which is usually Creative Commons, the most recent one, which is 4.1, .8, sorry, 4.0. And then the third question was whether we had data that data extracted from India. Normally, I think we only have research papers. We don't have, if I can recall right now, any public, like government based documents because no one approaches us to do so. Yeah, the general target is scientific standard publications. And yeah,
Yeah, you can do that.
the well, a nightmare. Yeah. Yeah, what I will say too, it depends on the country, and I think you are actually more suited to know about that than we actually are. We know about Brazil. That's what we know because that's where, like, we know how things work. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, as I said, it can be done. And I would say, just as Felipe said, it can be done. We have the tools. But if you to do, you have to go steps. Like it's possible here in India. Like in Brazil, I know that just from 10 years from now, they receive like PDF documents. Before that, you had to print all the reports, and then if they are available in PDF, they are scanned. So it's like double your work. And I know that we have this thing, you have to be confidential for 5 years, but just showcasing Brazil. So it can be done. We have the tools, but each country, each place has the rules and then. But of course, we know it's very interesting. We know it's a lot of things. GB is truly interested on that right now because they are occurrences. It's
yeah,
what
for sure.
they knew more for conservation. But it's and just I'm pretty sure that requires a lot of time and effort and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
human resources.
Yeah, no, but again, it all depends. My first guesses would be that usually government-based documents are open because uh, that's the default should be that. But we know how it is in the world. Yeah, but yeah, if you can access easily, to probably you can do that. Yeah, as long as you're not making money out of it, which is definitely not the Apparently, if someone knows how to do so, please let us know. Any other questions, guys? Uh, okay, so how do we get to this table? So what I did now, while we were talking, I searched for all the tables. I actually put a maximum of 100 results. You can do that. I turned on table UUID, also the caption text, because I want to know what the table is about, and the publisher, the journal in this case. And I typed in my keyword, which is phytochemistry, because I was explicitly looking for tables from the journal phytochemistry. Then I got a list, a result, like a list of results. Of course, some of them are weird. Again, there are errors throughout the data. That's why we can work together to make that better. But then I looked for one of the tables here. Let me see what was the... Oh yeah, this table here. Yeah, I just randomly opened one and I...
Yeah, but in the afternoon, we will have just a hands-on session to queries. So maybe you are in the different, aren't you in the different query page?
What's going on? So, Julia, can you go to the laptop, please? Scroll back to the search area. So you see the operation. Okay, so this will go a little bit down, Julia, please. There. So there is a field there called operation. You want to show individual values for all of them. So click on individual values, please. Click on individual values there.
I showed you yesterday, but again, today in the afternoon, we will
Sorry, I
hands-on
forgot
the
about
query.
that.
So you
I do
will
it so automatically now that
do that many times.
yeah.
You
Sorry,
have
don't worry.
these
My bad.
options. Because again, this was what we're talking about. It can be overwhelmed because we have a lot of options. Is it good to have a lot of options? Of course it is. It's perfect to have a lot of ways to do it, a lot of options to have my results. But when we are doing for the first time, we get a bit lost. So it's very normal, but you have all these options. Show individual values, you see all the information for all the values that you have as an answer. But if you go count individual values, count all values, minimum, maximum, if you do count, can I mess it up? You see, now I just have the number because I put count individual values for the caption. And if I do count individual values for everything, I would just have numbers. And then get.
We're getting a bit
You
ahead of
see?
ourselves here, but that's just a teaser of what's to come. Good. Shall we go for lunch? Yeah. Yeah. É que tá tarde. Okay. All good. We can talk over lunch as well. So. See you guys after lunch. What's the schedule like?
Today will be just us and Professor Gitanjali at the end of the day. So we will be sick of our faces, but we have a lot of time questions and like. Yeah.
Yeah. What I suggest we do maybe in the afternoon is you guys come up with there's something I really want to look. How do we do that? Then we'll go down around and we can chat.
Yeah, the queries, Felipe, we can do what the way we did it with GGI, make one or two with you. But since you will do your first own query, you have problem. This is for sure. And no problem. It's, as I said, there are a lot of options. And this is very good that we have a lot of options, but we get lost at first. So no problem. We do one very fast and then play with it and call us and try ocelos, sinus species, everything.